Southwest Assassin live in this bitch. I'll let you see the neighborhood a little bit. Or you can see the gas station. Did you see the thumbnail? See the title? Today, OJ Simpson passed from a battle with cancer. We over here in Southwest Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the whole D. Detroit, baby. We right by the sign. I would, it's just right over there. We right here off Livernois by 94. I would hop on the freeway, but it's kind of fucked up right now. But yeah, I don't think I can see it from right here. Let me ride over here. Let's see if we can see the Detroit sign real quick, and then we're going to chop it up about OJ and how y'all feel about that. It's a city ass day here in Detroit, as you can see. See if we can see the sign. What the fuck is that sign at? Well, it's just past here, you know what I'm saying? I have to get out the ride and go climbing through all that bullshit right there if I want to go see the Detroit sign. But, yo, they already got a diss track on the Detroit sign. What y'all think about a diss track on a fucking sign? Hey, that shit went viral, though. You can check out a little piece of it here on the Hood Smokers podcast. I uploaded, but yeah, Southwest Detroit, baby, you know what it is all day. I was seeing if maybe I could get to the sign for y'all, so y'all can see the Hollywood style, what they called it, the Hollywood style Detroit sign. It's some bullshit. It looked like, just like dude said, it's a diss track, like they got it off Wish. You know what I'm saying? Like the wind gonna blow it down. But no, man, rest in peace to OJ Simpson, man. Whether you like him or not, whether you think he killed Nicole Simpson and what's his name, Ronald Goldman, whether you like him or not, man, he was a legend. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a fan of him as in football. I was a fan of him in the Naked Gun movies. You know what I'm saying? So and I remember watching it. I was young. But I wasn't too young, man. I was probably like 17, 16, 17, maybe 18, something like that when the change happened in the Bronco. But I remember everybody, man, everybody was watching that in America, probably all over the world, low key. But everybody was watching that when it happened, man. So to say that OJ wasn't like somebody like that touched a lot of people is, and I don't mean that by touching a lot of people. I mean like as far as being a role model, yeah, what he did or what he allegedly did, he was found not guilty, like it or not. You know what I'm saying? If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. And we are the dirty glove. Go to HF for the hood smokers. This is Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we just think a little different. I don't know, man. I know my homie Blantonio Todd, but he's down there in Tucson, Arizona, but he thinks a lot different. He thinks like he might as well be from Detroit. He been here in Detroit. This right there in Detroit. Wouldn't even know he wasn't from Detroit. He wouldn't even know. He grew up on Awesome Dre, Esham, a lot of Detroit music, but he's a big OJ fan. You'll see him busting the OJ shirt when we're live on the Hood Smokers podcast. He's sported it a few times live. You know what I'm saying? So I know he hit me up and shit, but I had already heard about it. I sent him a message when I heard about it this morning. And I was like, rest in peace to OJ. And he was like, yeah, I know, damn. Like, so OJ did touch a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if he was a fan of his in football, whether he was a fan of the Naked Gun movies, or whether, everybody watched that court case, man. Now I know with YouTube and all that, these trials, they're always on, you know what I'm saying? We can watch trials right now. Like I was seeing this one, I think dude gets sentenced today. My wife watches a lot of them trials on YouTube. And the river butcher or some shit, dude stabbed like 4 or 5 people on the river. I think it was in Wisconsin on the Apple River. Well, he stabbed some people. This dude, he was from, I believe, Romania. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe he wasn't from America, anyways. But he butchered like 4 or 5 people on this river, and one of them was a teenager that died, the only person who passed. But the other people there got butchered up too. But I believe his sentence today. But yeah, you watch all these court cases on YouTube now. But yo, back in the days when that shit happened with OJ, that fucking court case, motherfuckers was listening to it on the radio. Motherfuckers was watching it live on TV. It was like the biggest shit in the fucking world, man. And when he was found not guilty, I don't give a fuck if you liked OJ or you didn't. You knew about it. You was talking about it. Fathers and sons, moms and daughters, brothers, sisters, cousins, everybody was talking about that shit. Homies, shit, everybody everywhere around the world was talking about OJ. You know what I'm saying? If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Yeah. Y'all remember that. Rest in peace to Johnny Cochran, too. I believe I don't know if any of the lawyers that represented Man, can y'all even hear me? I got this shit on Bluetooth. My bad, y'all. Let me go ahead and take this Bluetooth off. You hear me now? I had it on Bluetooth. Maybe y'all could have heard me before and shit. Anyway, talking about OJ Simpson out here, man. Like I said, whether you liked him or not, whether you was a fan of him playing football, a fan of him on the Naked Gun movies, or you was just, I mean, maybe there's people out there that's obsessed with killers. You know what I'm saying? But killers don't talk shh. You know what I'm saying? Now, we don't know if OJ did that shit that y'all say he did. You know what I'm saying? We don't know that. All right, hold up. We got the Philly homie Chester McFly about to let's bring Chester McFly on here and see what he thinks.
One nation under a groove. You just can't stop me now. What's good?
Shit, chopping it up about OJ. You know, Blantonio's a huge OJ Simpson fan, dog. Like
Yeah, me
he's always
too.
busting his shit. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Whether you like him or not, whether you was a fan of him playing football, the Naked Gun movies. I mean, either way it goes, everybody remembers when he was in that high speed chasing the Bronco. But before they had YouTube and shit, that court case was all over TV. You know what I'm saying? All over
Yo,
the radios, all
when I
over
went to
TV.
school, I listen to this shit. I went to which we call Paxton Hollow, which was in like Broomall, right outside. It was like a white school, right? So when OJ was found innocent, I was cheering. I was the only one fucking cheering. I was like, yeah. Everyone was like, how fucking dare you? Everyone fucking hated me for that shit, yo. Like they really hated me for that shit. But I
If the
was
glove
happy,
don't
yo.
fit,
Yeah, he
you
must have
must have
quit.
quit. Yeah.
Best
No,
lawyer of
for
all
real.
time.
Yeah. No, that's real shit. So really, we don't know if he really did it or not. I know there was a book. Did he come out with a book like
Yo,
not even
so
that
like,
long ago?
yeah, he made a book and it said, I did it, but it said it's really, really small. And it says, if I did it, like really, really small. So he was sounding like I did it. You know what I mean? Like I did it, I killed it. Like he was sounding like that.
I don't know if you ever heard that shit that Hulk Hogan said. Did you hear what he said about OJ when he found out his wife was cheating on him with his son's friend and shit? He was
No.
like, "Now I know why OJ did what he did."
Oh
And
shit.
she got like a PPO on him and shit. She was scared of Hulk and shit. She thought he was gonna kill her ass and shit. His wife, yeah, I remember that shit. Now
That's
that fucked me
crazy,
up this
man.
morning. I heard it on the radio that OJ passed. I didn't even know he had cancer, dog. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, yo.
Yeah, but
That's
that's what he
crazy.
passed of. He was, I think, 76, something like that. But yeah, man, he did do some time. I mean, he got locked up for that shit at that hotel with dude.
Memorabilia, yeah, he got set up, yo. They set him up. That's a setup, yo, from the gate.
Yeah, dude got went to court when he got his parole, went up for parole, and like took his side. The dude he robbed, had his back and shit. And was like, man, I would. He was like, I want OJ to get out. That's my dog. Like he just wanted his shit back. It's just how he went about getting it back. You know what I'm saying? So they charged him with armed robbery.
That's
Yeah, he
great.
was a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah.
rough with me.
But no, they set him up
Now,
though, because the dude I think got in trouble, and then he's like, "Yo, I know somebody selling your memorabilia. You know what I mean?
right.
We can go get it right now." And then they fucking went, and it was like right after they did it, was cops all there. Like it was set up. Like, yo, we gonna come with OJ and we go get him to rob you, and then we go get him locked up, so we get out of trouble. That's what that shit was about for real, man. Those guys got in trouble for like
Yeah,
stealing merch and shit. So like yeah, we can get OJ to fucking come here and get it back and we'll get off. And it worked.
yeah. Now that was fucked up. Now I remember that shit when he got locked back up. But
I love the Naked Gun movies though too. I love them shits.
yeah, the Naked Gun 2.5 shit. I seen that shit at the movies and shit. You know what I'm saying?
33 and the Third.
Yeah,
That Joan was my
no,
favorite. The one with Anna Nicole, man. She was bad in that movie. You remember that?
yeah.
Yeah, she was bad as fuck.
And fucking OJ, dog. Like a lot of people hate on him for what he allegedly did. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, there's way worse people. I mean, and I don't want to see. I don't wish prison on nobody, even on my enemies. You know what I'm saying? I ain't wishing prison on anybody or death. You know what I'm saying? So I might wish. I ain't wishing
I'm
death.
live right now.
I want somebody dead. I'm just doing it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't talk about it. But yeah. No, I never hated
I'm
OJ.
live right now, yo.
I was a big fan, football fan. And I've always been a big football fan, so I was always a fan of OJ.
Me too.
So that kind of brings up, like, we always discuss this. We used to discuss it a lot. We had a round table about it, like R. Kelly, people like that. Like, when can you separate the art from the artist? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you take away what OJ did just because of like what he did, like positive shit he
So
did?
so so for real, like I didn't watch him play, and you probably didn't either. You know what I mean? So like we just hear about how great he was. It's like this generation hearing about Michael Jordan. That's why a lot of them hate Jordan. They're like all about LeBron because they didn't witness that. I witnessed Jordan. You know what I mean? I didn't witness OJ. So it makes it a little bit more difficult for, you know what I mean? So like for me, it's like I look at it more as a movie star, entertainer, like commentator, like more than an athlete because I didn't know that side of him. I mean, I know that side of him from like history, but I didn't know it first. I didn't see it. You know what I mean?
No, I was just
Yeah.
reading this hidden comment. I don't know who hit it. I don't know if you did it.
Yeah, I
What did
saw
they
that.
say?
I just fixed it.
Yeah. Who's that? I can't see the name. I'm driving, though. I want to smack up in the back of this truck from
Manson
behind me.
Morris. Manson Morris. You know
Handsome
that?
Mark. Bro's a motherfucker. What motherfucking fucker? He's a motherfucking fucker, huh? I see that part. Motherfucking
Bro's a
fucker.
motherfucking murderer. This shit's crazy. Here's the
Oh,
way I look at
murderer?
it, though. When it comes to murder or anything like that, my dad told me something. Even when it came to like women and all that shit, he would always tell me, "No one knows where the nose goes behind closed doors." You know what I mean?
Right.
If you ain't see him killed him, if you ain't see him, how you gonna say he's a murderer? Oh, I read this,
Nah.
and you weren't there. You just hear it's just hearsay to us. I don't know shit. I wasn't there. I didn't witness
Tell you the
nothing. I
truth,
don't know.
dog. If OJ did do that, to tell you the truth, I think OJ would have paid somebody to whack him. You know what I'm saying? He had the money. Unless he
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
smart.
yeah. Now,
So
what
if he
I
really
think,
did,
yeah, I
yeah.
think that AC did it. I think he knew about it. I think he had AC
Well,
do it. He might have been
but
involved. I think, but I don't think
that's
he
why he was
personally
helping him in
killed
high speed chase. Yeah, makes sense. I never heard that theory though, but it kind of makes sense. Yeah,
him. I mean,
that
think
was his
about it. That
best
dude,
friend.
yeah, he drives him like running from the cops. If you go ride from the fucking police, like chauffeuring your boy, and he's in the back with a gun to his head and shit. You know what I mean? Obviously,
Right.
you care about that dude. So it seems if you would do that, you probably kill somebody for that guy. Same type of shit. If you go
Right.
do a high speed chase for somebody, you must really love the guy. You know?
Yeah. Facts. That's facts. I didn't ever think about that. Did they ever have it ever been out there that AC might have been the one that did it? Or is that your own theory?
My theory, I just always thought like that because that's his. You go drive somebody, why would you kill him for him? That guy loved OJ. Even when they would
Right.
talk about him, like I seen an interview with him, he loved OJ. That dude,
Yeah,
he do
yeah.
everything for him.
No, for real, yeah. Shit, I was surprised. I'm surprised they didn't lock AC up for that. You know what I'm saying? Your average motherfucker, if he would have done that, he'd have been just as guilty. He'd have at least got a charge. You know what I'm saying for doing that shit?
Funny,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. That's what it really comes down to. But yeah,
Yeah,
OJ, he had the super team, that fucking the dream team for attorneys and shit. There was no
yeah,
stopping
Shapiro.
him.
Yeah,
But
Shapiro.
I remember Johnny
That guy,
Cochran,
yeah, Bailey. That guy Bailey was a good lawyer
Bill
too.
Kardashian.
Yeah, he came in hard with that. They called him the Dream Team. My dad
Yeah,
told me about that when I was a kid.
get ready
I
for
remember.
Diddy to have him lawyer up like that, dog. I'm telling you, Diddy's gonna have to lawyer up like that. And
I
I
don't
don't even
know.
know if I'm a word.
I don't know, man, because like you know what I'm saying? Like he ain't even getting no fucking charges yet. Like when you really think about it, like you know
When
what I mean?
the Feds raided KPD, it took them 2 months before they locked him up. They raided him, and then they came back 2 months later and arrested him.
That's
Locked
true.
him up. The feds, they got a 99% conviction rate. So they'll watch your ass. They'll let you commit crimes. They'll watch you kill somebody. They'll watch you sell dope. They'll watch you sex traffic till they got your whole operation locked down. And then they'll come and get you when they know that they got a case.
Yeah,
And
when
that's
I was
probably what the
yeah, when my house got raided one time, like back in the day, I used to sell like I Well, allegedly, I was doing things, and they got my cell phone. I said, "What happened to my phone?" FBI has it and shit. That was like my cricket phone and shit. They took that shit. Oh, that's crazy, yo.
Yeah, a lot of people get caught up because of these cell phones these days. You know what I'm saying? They don't realize they got every message. And
It
like they
was a
think they
burner
do.
phone too. It was like Cricket. Remember the company Cricket?
Yeah, yeah.
I put
Cricket.
my name as Jaybee. So when it would call you on your caller ID, it said BJ is calling me. Because you know how it switches the name? Yeah. I was JB. So yeah, I would
100
call.
people. Flint Town. Did you think about Jay passing 100 people? Was you a fan? Shout out to Flint. That's my Flint
He's,
Town homie. 100 people
I
in the
think
building.
OJ jumped so Michael could fly, when it came to like endorsements and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
he was one of the first like black celebrities, like athletes, to get like endorsements from Hertz and shit. Like, I don't know if you remember. I remember those commercials. He would do the Hertz commercial, like running to the airport trying to get his car. Remember that shit?
Right. Yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, he was making money off that shit. And I remember watching him on like football when I was a kid. He was always on like NBC and shit.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was
a commentator.
No, I was an OJ fan. Wasn't a fan. Yeah, not due to the
Yeah,
murder
yeah,
though.
yeah.
That wasn't why. That's what I'm
I'm
saying. That was my point. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if he killed old girl, his wife, and what's his name? Ryan Goldman,
yeah.
Nicole Brown
Must have been
Simpson. And,
Ryan Gold.
yeah, yeah. Maybe Ryan Goldman offed himself. I don't fucking know. Don't like you said. We wasn't there. Wasn't none of us there. Who the
Yeah,
fuck is
no
we
one
to
knows where the
judge?
nose goes behind closed doors. I
And
think
you
it's
think,
Thunder. That's a good one. But no,
yeah,
his son was a baby at that time. You remember those kids were like 5 years old.
shit, 5-year old will fucking pop your ass. But I don't
And
know,
my
but there
dog.
was a little glove. It was a small glove, you know what I'm saying? So, but why would you kill somebody and be like, fuck it, I'm gonna throw my glove there? You know
Yeah,
what
and
I'm
the
saying?
glove
Like,
didn't fit. And if they definitely the murder gloves, you know what I mean? Unless you it don't make sense to like kill somebody and then have like a fake pair of smaller gloves. That's what some other people try to. Yeah, it's smaller gloves on them. Like, how does that even make sense? You know what I mean?
well, he just carried a pair of like, you know, he didn't. If he did do it allegedly, then he didn't think it out. You know what I'm saying? Because if he would have thought it out, he could have easily paid somebody to take him up, both of them out. Shit, no problem. People with money like that. So if he did do it, he probably snapped. So why the fuck would he have some little gloves on him? Like what the
Yeah,
fuck?
that's what I'm saying. It don't make sense. And just imagine me though in middle school, in all white middle school, and they doing the trial, and then everybody's all like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Yeah!" I'm cheering shit. Everybody was mad as shit at me, yo. Like, "Fuck you, John. You fucked up."
I can't remember how old I was, but I was at least 17 or 18 when I was at when the trial. I heard it on the radio. Motherfuckers was listening to that shit on the fucking radio. You know what I'm saying? Like the verdict and all that shit.
I remember
It
the
was
car
like
chase.
everybody.
I remember the car
Yeah, I'm
chases the
talking
day
about.
before school, and
Yeah,
I remember I had like a new outfit. I was going to like fifth grade, and I had like a new outfit, and I had it lined up, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill him with this shit, yo." I just kept thinking, and then like the chase, I was just watching it all night, and I ended up passing out. I'm like, "What happened?" And then they said he
right.
turned himself in. I didn't see that part. I passed out before that, but I was
Yeah,
watching the
because they
chase with my
interrupted.
dad.
You had to watch it because they interrupted every single fucking TV show and shit. I remember. I think
Yeah.
I was watching Cops or some shit on TV, and all of a sudden that popped on and shit.
Then they had people like on the bridge and shit, like with signs like, "Yeah,
Oh, free
it's
old
like,
day.
yeah."
You weren't
That's
even
how I
locked up
understand.
yet.
A lot of people say shit about OJ and be like, "Oh, he's a piece of shit. He's this and that." But then they'll say the same thing. They'll be like, "Oh, free Melly." Like the same
Right.
people will say, "Free Melly." The guy killed his best friends in the car. Because, yo, that shit, if you in the backseat of a car and two people in the front seat and then they die,
Right.
A plus B equals C. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
So you could look at that shit like that motherfucker killed him. You know what I mean? But
Right.
OJ, nobody's there, nobody knows. It's just assumption. But Melly, he was
Right.
there. You know what I mean? You could
Yeah.
put him at the crime scene, yo. I don't understand. Everyone's like, free Melly. Fuck Melly, yo. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one
That's
good song with
crazy.
Kanye that was all right. Other than that, shit's garbage.
And so did Talib, though. You know what I'm saying? He had the one good song from Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Just to tell lies, just to tell lies, just
I
to
said just to
tell
go cry, just to go cry, just to
lies.
go cry.
All right, we having a giveaway right now on this live on the OJ RIP OJ Simpson on the Hood Smokers podcast. You can get you a Telefit Quad Live shirt in the next 30 seconds. If you can type in real quick, I'll give you. I know there's like a 40-second delay, so I'll give y'all a minute and 10 seconds to
Can you
drop
post that?
three Talib songs in the chat. So you got to. I'm looking at my clock right now and shit. That bitch says 2:43. It's over with. I need three Talib songs. You get a Telefit Quad Live shirt. You still waiting on yours, ain't you? Justin,
Yeah, I ain't
you
getting
didn't get
mine.
it yet? You gonna
No,
get it. Don't worry about it. No, you gonna get it.
I'm gonna have
You
my
gonna get
merch
it.
store up before I get that shit. I'm gonna
Now,
get yo.
Black
Once I
Daniels
get,
must come through.
I told you I'm trying to make some shirts too, and I'll send you guys some out once I get. I'm trying to get the store up on my YouTube. My buddy was trying to show me how to do it with like Shopify. You could send designs, and then like you don't have to buy inventory. Like I don't want to
Fuck,
buy all these
100
shirts
people.
and sit on them. I'd rather just
100
have it where
people,
they
you
can order.
Googled that shit, didn't you? We got it.
Yeah,
And he's in Flint. So I can probably, you fuck with the
he
shrooms,
cheated. Yeah.
100
He's
people.
like, yo, he cheated.
Yeah,
He being honest though. I respect the honesty though. That's
oh,
respect,
you
yo.
cheated? Okay, yeah. Well, still,
But
you want to fuck with the shrooms? Shout out to Detroit Dicks. I can bring you some shrooms and shit from our sponsor, Detroit Dicks, Southwest
yo,
Detroit phone. Get a
do
bag
they
of
get
dicks.
certain strains like Detroit Dicks? Do they get like certain strains, or is just like one kind of shroom? I'm just curious.
The shrooms.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I got to look more into it and shit. He just dropped me off a package with a whole bunch of packs of shrooms and edibles and shit, and shirts and stickers and all that shit.
yeah, because
Bet it up, 100 people.
there's
Inbox
certain
me,
ones.
inbox me, 100 people, and I'll get at you, and I'll hand deliver them and shit. Let me know where you at. I know when you're in the mid, I know you be all over the place and shit, but when you're around Flint, Detroit, I'll ride out to Flint. I can get to Flint in like 45 minutes, an hour from Detroit.
It's gonna
So
have
just
some
let me
fresh
know.
water for you.
Yeah, I'll
Some
bring
of that good Flint
that's
water.
some fucked up shit though. That's we actually had to reach out to the Nitty Project Board for Flint about that. You know how everybody kind of like forgot about Flint water when the pandemic hit. And,
Yeah,
bootlegging them from Dayton family, they was on a whole like a whole thing where they were going across the country with deep as hell with these shirts on that said Flint Lives Matter and shit. And they was protesting that shit all over the world and shit, like all over the country. Bootleg can't leave the country because he's a felon and shit. But yeah, they
mm.
was doing. But they don't even you don't hear about that even around here in Michigan, like Detroit
they,
news. They
they
don't.
they always sweep that shit under the rug though. This shit happened here 6 months ago where some chemical leaked in the Philly water supply, and it was all over the news. And they're like, yeah, you might have to boil your water, all this shit. And then I don't hear nothing about it. That's why I went out and bought Brita right away. I bought one of them Brita Jones. I don't trust this shit. Even if I'm cooking, I use Brita. The water up
Right.
here dirty too. It's fucked up here too.
Low key, people would think Detroit got the shittiest water, but we got like they say we got like one of the best, the cleanest water supplies in America. They say we're like in the
Your
top
lakes.
five.
Yeah, because your lakes, you
Right.
got a lot of lakes out there. They selling them shits to China. You know that? Nestle, I heard they selling your water to China. They sending it away.
Well, he said he sold his house in Flint for $1 to get out of it. That's how Detroit is, dog. People just leaving their house. They ain't even selling them and shit. They just leave them. And then motherfuckers, homeless people go in there to squat. Y'all got that in Philly, squatter rights.
Yeah, but then we got these things they're doing. I think I showed you. They gentrifying a lot of these bad neighborhoods. They putting like so New York rent went up so high that all these New Yorkers are fucking moving to Philly and then taking the train to work in New York. So
Right. Yeah.
they buying like all these they bought all like the mafia bought this neighborhood and they destroyed it and they call it the loft district, allegedly. So they made this loft district. All these New York people came up here and now it's raising the rent up here. So they trying to gentrify all these neighborhoods in Philly like they did in New York. They copy in New York because they moving
Yeah.
here, making our
Every
rent go
major
up.
city, yeah, every major city's doing that. Like
It's fucked up.
Detroit, you go downtown now, they got like $1 million condos. They're talking. I seen on the news. They're talking to people from other. It was actually a dude from Boston, I believe. They were talking to him on the news, and he's like downtown Detroit, talking about how nice it is. He don't know why they dog Detroit. And I'm thinking like, just drive about a mile from where you're at, and you'll see why. Like they make downtown look real nice. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? They hook it
yeah,
up
yeah.
going on.
Yeah, that's what they gotta do though. Like, so they get people in there. Then what they do is like that's what they did in Philly. Like, and that's what they're doing right now to Kensington, that place I told you about. They said that's what they're trying to gentrify next. That's the big thing they're gonna try to fix. But I don't think they can get rid of it because that's where everybody in this city goes to get drugs. It's like the biggest open drug market in the United States of America. You know that? Kensington. It's fucking nuts down there. They allow that shit. So they gentrify and then they allow drug neighborhoods. That's what they do. I don't know what they do in Detroit if it's like that there.
Yeah, there's I don't know about that. I mean, pretty much every neighborhood's a drug neighborhood in Detroit. I don't know. We got a couple gated communities and shit. Like they got this spot over by 7 Mile Woodward where it's they're like mansions, old mansions. But Detroit police don't patrol it. They got their own like cops that like when you pull it because I done work there and shit. Like worked on some cribs there, and they got like when you pull in, there'll be their personal police sitting right there at the gates and shit when you pull in and all that shit. So they don't trust the Detroit police, which I don't blame them. What up, though, bro? What?
Yeah,
Now I'm up
Philly
here at
cops
the
like that
dispensary
too,
getting
though.
my food. Yeah.
But I
Yeah, man,
remember,
dog, hit me up, 100 people, and I'll get you some shrooms, dog.
yeah,
Stay
I
safe
heard
out there.
Portland. I heard Portland and Vancouver is like Kensington almost. I heard it's very similar. Like they got a neighborhood they just buy drugs and do whatever they want. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I've heard a lot about Portland and shit.
Heard they
But really, low
legalized
key,
all drugs there.
it's every major city they're trying to do that type of shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's like every city.
that's what Kensington is.
Yeah, no. If y'all don't know about
Yeah,
Kensington, you can check out that video here on the Hood Smoker podcast that Blantonio. Well, you made it, and Blantonio added a little bit to it, but it's on here and shit. Where dudes like, what was it? Is that a football hike? Hike, hike.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah. Cause they all
that's
nodded out down there. Everybody like that, yo. It's on the track, man. People missing their legs. Like it's
mm.
fucked up. I ain't never seen no shit like that. Like I guess like they had shit that eats away at you, like crocodile. This new shit,
Oh
yo. People
man.
like in wheelchairs got holes in
Yeah,
their
fucking
legs.
with bath
It's fucked
salts
up.
and shit. They fuck with the bath salts and shit like that.
Nah, they meth is out here though now. You know what I mean? That's what just hit out Philly. You can smell that shit everywhere. They be smoking that shit and the fucking when you get off down. It's the worst place down there. It smells just the most worst smell you ever smelled in your life down there. Like
I gotta
rotted
come to
flesh,
Philly.
piss, shit. It's terrible.
I'm gonna come to Philly, dog. When I went to New York, when I drove to New York City and shit, it was before they had well they had GPSs, but they weren't on the phones. You know, you had to get the like the whatever that shit was, Gander or whatever that company was, and you put it on your dash or whatever. They just came out.
Jarman.
Yeah, Garmin.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but we went to MapQuest and we got it printed out. We ended up going
Yeah,
old
I used to
school
do
though.
that. Yeah, I used to do
Yeah,
that
we
shit.
went old school though and got the big map because it was telling us to drive through Canada and then go to New York, and we couldn't. So we just followed along the border and we drove through Pennsylvania, all through Pennsylvania, all the way to New York, upstate New York, down, all the way down, you know what I'm saying, to New York City. That's how we got to Boston too and shit when we went to Massachusetts and shit. That's how we did it. But yeah,
You would
fucking I
like Philly. It's
definitely
a lot cheaper than New York though. New York's expensive there,
oh,
man.
yeah,
Food,
fuck it,
everything.
dog. All I ate there was Chinese food because it was the cheapest food there. All right, thanks, bro. You too.
Yeah, I would take you out to a whole bunch of good spots if you can down here. I'd take you to
Yeah,
Reading Terminal Market. You would love that place. That's like every kind of food in the world is in one place right in Center City.
yeah. See, I'm one of them motherfuckers. When I go to a city like, if I go to Philly, I want to see the hood. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to the
I'll take you to
neighborhood.
Kensington. I'll take you there.
Yeah,
You
I
would
want
like
to
yo,
go
this
to.
shit is you would lose your shit, yo.
Yeah, we'll go out there and we can interview people out there and shit. You know what I'm
There's
saying?
certain places you can, certain places you can't. There's
Have you
certain
ever thought
blocks.
about doing shit like that?
I did it one I filmed up there a couple times and one time I got warned. Like I was on this block where they were selling shit. He's like, yo, so like, here's the thing, like, you could either erase this or he's like, or we go run down on you. I was like, that shit gone. But
Yeah,
I
cause
kept it though. I kept it though. I sent it to the cloud, yo. Like I had like a couple
yeah,
videos up there. They get mad. You can't film up there because like They be selling shit out in the open, and you get them on tape, then you go get them caught up, you put it online. You know what I mean? Because the cops look for that shit.
Yeah, I was well shit. I did the street reporter shit like right before the pandemic hit, during the pandemic, during the lockdown, all that. And I was going like talking to homeless people and shit like that, and then that didn't have nowhere to lock down. I had the Fed. I got a video of the feds rolling up on me and shit. And here in Michigan, you know how every state had to do it different. You know, Trump made it so every governor was in control of their state.
Yeah,
And shit. So we had 1 hour we could go out to get exercise and shit. So I pulled up at this place in Southwest Detroit called Patton Park, and I pulled up there and shit. And there was people like people from Mexico. They ain't even speak English. They ain't had nowhere to go and shit. They're like camping and shit in the park. So I pulled up there and shit, and I got masks, I got water, shit like that. I was handing out, but this dude gets out. He's in a pickup truck. I didn't think he was nobody no fed or nothing. He was wearing like a flannel regular clothes and shit. But he gets out of his truck when he sees me pull up. I got a flag over my face and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hat down low. You can just see my eyes.
yeah. I used to wear a mask during that time too.
Got out, and then I seen the back. Like, what do you think? And I'm like, shit, my governor said I can get an hour rent. I'm out here getting my rent. You know what I'm saying? Now I was videotaping his ass. He ain't do shit. You know what I'm saying? But I seen he was a fed. I got another video up. It's on this channel where I was at Woodmere Cemetery in Southwest Detroit. Me and my wife were smoking and shit at her my sister-in-law who passed, Holly, her baby daddy, AK. He had passed. We're at his gravesite. We used to go like I don't know something about. Some people might think this shit's weird, dog, but I feel like calm in fucking cemeteries. I feel safe. Like the police don't fuck with you. I go to cemeteries and smoke and shit, chill.
I used
I
to
go to like
party at a cemetery. My buddy, this dude I know used to live there, and we used to have parties at
yeah,
like his house in the cemetery, and no cops would come there and shit. It was cool.
yeah. Well,
Had
we're
cake
sitting
parties in
down
the
there.
cemetery.
Yeah, well, we're sitting down there. We're in the ride. Me and my wife. We're smoking a blunt. AK's graves right there. We're just chilling, smoking a blunt by AK's grave, and fucking this car pulls up next to me, and it's an older white guy. He's got white hair, and he's just grimming me. And I'm looking at him. I roll my window down. I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "Street reporter." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "How you know me?" He's like, "I know where you buy your drugs at." I'm like, "What the fuck you talking about drugs?" He was like, "Well, weed." I was like, "Weed ain't no drug." This is before it was.
Yeah,
They only had medical and shit. You had to have a card, so it was before recreational. So I'm like, man, weed ain't no drug. And he was like, I watch your videos, this and that. He was like, Junction and Forest. He literally said, "Oh, okay, yeah."
station.
Yeah, I just never went and got mine. Once they made it recreational, I was like, fuck it. I'm just fuck the card, you know.
I
But you
told you
do
how I
get
got
better
mine.
deals.
Didn't I tell you how I got mine? I
Huh,
went to
yeah.
jail. I had to go to jail to get mine. I was on probation, and then I failed my drug test, and he put me in jail. Then I had to go to rehab, and then I told him about my dad. He gave me diagnosed me with PTSD, and I had him send it to the weed doctor. They didn't want to send it for like a month. They didn't want to send that shit, and then they finally did, and that's how I got
True
it.
New
And
News. What up, though?
he dropped me as a fucking client. I ain't got no felonies. I got a million misdemeanors, no felonies.
Yeah, I got a million misdemeanors and a million felonies. No, I ain't got a million felonies, but I got a few. But I got a few like all at one time. So they ran. I had 13 armed robberies, impersonating a police officer.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and it wasn't because we were impersonating them on purpose. It was because just
Allegedly.
by luck, we was out hitting licks. You know what I'm saying? We was on some dumb shit. That was back in the days. We used to pop E like every day, like it was candy,
Yeah,
ecstasy, and
yo.
shit.
So yeah, so did I. I used to get
Yeah,
rid of it
and we
too.
were
Yeah.
yeah, and like look on the west side of Detroit, we were out sticking people up. Like I could talk about it now because I went to prison. I did my time. I was young and stupid and shit. But yeah, this is like '98, like late '98, early '99. But we're out robbing people and shit, sticking them up. And then we were all fucked up. It's in the middle of the day, afternoon, and we see a nice ass ride pull up at this gas station on Warren and Southfield and shit. And we're like, and it was an older white guy. He had a couple kids in the back seat, which is kind of fucked up though. But I whipped up right behind him and shit because it looked like he had a rollie on. He had money and shit. We're like, this dude got money. So I whipped up right up on his ass, and my boy, he hopped out and shit. I ain't gonna say his name, even though we both went to the joint for the shit. But he hopped out the ride. The people that know, they know. He knows. But he hopped out and he walked up and he just stuck the strap to his stomach so nobody could see it. And this is a cop. Take it. He was like, he took his wallet, took his watch off, all that shit. He didn't even say nothing to him. Just started going in his shit with the gun pressed up against his stomach and shit. At the dude did start to put his hands up. That's what he did say. He said, "Put your hands down," because you know what I'm saying. That looks hot
Yeah, that
when you
draw
go.
is drawn. It is drawn. Everybody can
Yeah,
see that
yeah,
shit.
yeah. He was like, "Put your hands down," this and that. So and then he jumps in the truck. Had a like a '99 S10 pickup truck I bought brand new off the lot. You know what I'm saying? Brand new truck, dog. They took my shit to the police because I got in a high speed chase with them. But we had been robbing people in this neighborhood for like 3, 4 years. Never had the cops looking for us. We're hanging out in the neighborhood. Southwest was our safe spot. Like we weren't robbing people in our neighborhood, but the West Side was like our neighborhood too. We had a lot of homies over there. I don't know if you heard Joy Road, West Warren, shit like that. We like Joy Road's where Monte Cristo's at and shit. They call it X and 9 when he's always like the Murder Max open and shit. It's a McDonald's, a 24-hour McDonald's on the corner of Joy Road and Southfield, X and 9 they call it, and it's like known for like people getting murdered up there, so they call it the Murder Mac. And Monte Cristo, every time like he called out Master Splinter all the time. Like I'm up here at the Murder Mac, he'll get out live, show him what kind of car he's in, where he's at, this and that. Like I'm out here. He called it the Murder Mac Challenge, and anybody he had a problem with, he tell him to meet him at the Murder Mac. Murder Mac's open. He was like the Murder Mac's always open. This Murder Mac. Nobody had ever meet up with Monty at the Murder Mac. So and then I started saying shit about Woodmere Cemetery and shit because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put them with their peers. I was like, meet me at Woodmere Cemetery. Woodmere Cemetery is open and shit. So Monty started saying that shit too and shit about Woodmere Cemetery too. Yeah, but no, but over on the west side. So we fucked with the west side tough. My brother Creeper, who just passed, that's the neighborhood he was from. Even though he was in Southwest just as much, that's where he was born at and raised at as a young kid. Was on the west side. But yeah, we were out there robbing people, and they ain't come for us until we robbed that cop. And what happened was we as soon as J Rock jumped, oh, damn, I said his name. My bad. Scratch that. His name was not J Rock. But
Allegedly.
yeah, as soon as my homeboy jumped in the car and shit in the truck, he's like he whips the wallet open and then boom, Detroit Police Department had the badge. And instead of
Uh,
being like, oh shit, we robbed the cop, we're like, yeah, we're the cops now. So we just
oh
started whipping
shit!
up. We started
So you
whipping up.
used heads?
We
So
made
you
the
used
news on this shit, dog. When I was in the county jail, motherfuckers are like, man, we seen y'all on the news. We'd be going to court and shit. They'd be like, we seen y'all on the news, this and that, for impersonating the police officer. They made it sound like they just stopped the biggest fucking like crime spree in the world and shit. Like we had a whole thing that we did. Like we sold dope in these hotels. We called them crack motels on the Ave and shit. We would sell rocks there at night. And during the day, like we would go out at like 6 in the morning. I'm gonna tell y'all all this because I've already done my time for this shit. But fucking we would pull up and we would wait for people to leave their house to go to work. And we would like I was bad though when I was younger and shit. But we would wait till they fucking go to work and we go up in their cribs. Sometimes we wouldn't even wait till they go to work and we go up in their cribs. Like my boy was so out cold with it, dog. He could shit, this was, he can't hear me though, right? Because these
No,
these are
no,
not
no, no,
stories
no.
for kids and
That's why
shit.
I always got these on always around me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, OJ really passed away. Sports predictions 101. What y'all think about that? Sports predictions and true news now. What y'all think about that?
You ever
I
see
mean, do
that
you
video he did? He did a rap video. Did you ever see that shit?
I'm not I probably did, dog. I just don't remember it
He had
right
all these
now.
naked girls in the video. It was like on YouTube for a while, yo. I had like I screen recorded it. I have to go back and find it. I'll find it and send it to you. You gotta see this video
Yeah,
he made, yo. It's crazy.
yeah. Send
He
it
had
to
like
me
all
for
these
sure.
naked bitches. He was rapping and shit. He had like a pimp
I'll
suit on
upload
and
that.
shit.
You ain't never
Yeah.
tried to upload it and shit.
I think I had it on Facebook before, but it had
Are
nudity
they
on it.
actually?
And
Oh,
like
they're actually all the way
so
nude.
no, just just bitties, you know what I mean?
Okay, well, you can blur them out a little bit, do a little bit of magic and shit, and blur them out a little bit and upload it.
I'm just lazy. I'll just put my green screen head on it.
Yeah, OJ made a rap video. Yeah,
It might be on YouTube. You might be able to look it up, like on YouTube.
the clean version and shit. Yeah,
Yeah, it
look
was
it up.
just on
OJ
there.
music
It was
video,
like on a
rap video.
documentary they did. The documentary was on ESPN. I don't know if you remember. It was a documentary about him, and in the documentary about OJ, they showed that rap video, and it was like they showed the titties and shit like on ESPN, on everything, on TV, and you know what I
Damn.
mean? It was crazy. So I just like screen recorded. It was a while ago. It was pretty cool though. It
But
was
yeah,
funny.
yeah, sports predictions 101. He passed the cancer. He was battling cancer, I guess. I didn't know that, but he passed the cancer today, this morning. He passed. OJ Simpson. Rest in peace, OJ Simpson. I don't give a fuck, dog.
R.I.P.
I'm an OJ fan, dog. And I mean, it ain't just because I was in a rap group called Killers Don't Talk. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with that. I was a fan of OJ before all that shit happened. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever
Especially the
hear?
Naked Gun movie. That shit was funny as hell, dog. The movies fucking were funny as fuck. What's the other dude's name? Liam Nelson or something like that. The dude who played the detective and shit with the white hair and shit.
Oh yeah, Driven.
Um,
Frank Driven.
oh, is that his name?
Frank
Okay.
Driven. No, that wasn't it. That was his name in the movie. I didn't know it. I forget Leslie Nielsen, but he was Frank Driven. Remember in the movie?
Oh,
Frank.
no, not Leslie Nielsen. Was it? Oh yeah, Leslie Nielsen. Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah,
yep.
yeah.
Okay,
Yo,
yeah,
you
yeah,
remember what? You remember the wrestler New Jack from
yeah,
ECW? He
yeah.
just passed away not that long ago. He's my favorite wrestler. He used to wrestle in Philly. I used to go to ECW arena and shit. That motherfucker was crazy. He would come out to new Natural Born Killers and shit, like the Dr.
Oh
Dre
yeah,
song. Yeah, and he would throw like trash can with weapons and shit. And
I remember
yeah,
that.
he did a thing when OJ's like he did this thing like in the ring. He's like, and I just want to give a shout out to my homie OJ Simpson. And this is like right after the trial, and everybody was fucking mad. But there's a video where Jim Cornette like made him say that shit. He would like tell him just say something to make white people mad,
Right. Hey,
and it
look,
worked, yo.
I haven't even talked to Blantonio today, but I guarantee you, I put money on it. We will get a like the Mac from the Dead video. We gonna get an
Yeah,
OJ one. I guarantee it. Cause I mean, like I said, a lot of times he busted the OJ Simpson Giants jersey and shit. He always bust that like when we go live and shit. He would always
Buffalo,
bust that.
Buffalo, Buffalo. Don't say that.
Buffalo, my bad, my bad. Well, same
Fuck the New
colors,
Jersey.
damn it.
Yeah, fuck the New Jersey midgets, yo. I hate them motherfuckers. I
Not
love
the
New
New
York, the
Jersey.
city. I hate they sports teams. They cheaters. Remember, they got to have two of every team to win. Think about it. They got two
Right, yeah.
basketball
The
teams, two
blood.
baseball teams, two football teams, two hockey teams. They used to have three hockey teams. You know what I'm saying?
Do
Like
they? See, I don't follow hockey that much. People think, oh, you're in
the
Detroit, hockey town.
Rangers, the
Uh,
Islanders. I think they
oh,
had another team or something. Pretty sure, but that's what I'm saying. They had two of every team though in New York. So
well,
that's
shit.
that.
Remember the Yankees? The Yankees used to be fucking everybody over every fucking year and shit. Like, what the
They
fuck kind of
buy all
shit
the
was that?
players. They buy everybody. They go over the
Don
salary cap on
Mattingly and
purpose.
shit. Yeah, I come from the days when like Don Mattingly and all them was
They
playing and
cheated the
shit.
Phillies. Don't you remember when they cheated us in the World
Yeah,
Series of A-Rod and shit? Yo, I was
yeah,
watching that
yeah.
with my grandpa. I was pissed off, man. That shit pissed me off.
Yeah, who's old boy from the Yankees that he's from not Detroit, he's from Metro Detroit, the suburbs. He's a beast too and shit. I seen him when I was in New York too. He was at the Wax Museum in Manhattan getting a wax museum thing. Was it not Jeter? Uh damn, he played on the team with Jeter. Uh
A-Rod,
no, no, that it was
A-Royce,
Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter. A
that
Rod who's
motherfucker, yo. He hated
Derek
Derek.
Jeter.
Derek Jeter used to hate A-Rod, yo. He hated him, yo. He like a
What's up?
fake dude. He was with J-Lo before Ben Affleck got her back.
Yeah. Shout out to Sports Predictions 101 and True News Now for tapping in. Much love. Make sure y'all go check them out. Check out Chester McFly too. You know what I'm saying? Fucking
I'm less than a stack away from getting that 100K. Yo, I'm about to get that fucking plaque, yo. That's like all of us getting that shit. Real shit. Like me having
yeah,
that
yeah.
plaque when I get that shit. I'm gonna go live every time. I'm gonna put it on the wall right there, so when people come in, they see it. That's my idea. And if I go live, I can have it behind me because it makes you look more official. Oh, we got a play button.
Right.
He's official. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you ever see
Yeah.
when Fresh and Fit? You ever see that podcast? That motherfucker's a bitch, yo, right now. You see that dude Fresh? He a bitch, yo. They don't practice what they preach. You know what I mean? He got some bitch knocked up. He always talks about, yeah, you gotta be smart with these 304s and all that shit. And then he got some girl pregnant, and then he's like trying to say, well, she's a whore and all this shit. But like, you the one that busted in her though, and you the one supposed to be telling guys not to do that. So it's like, I don't hypocrites. When somebody's a hypocrite, I don't fuck with them no more. Real shit.
Right.
You gotta practice
No.
what you preach.
Right. And that's what, no apologies. You know what I'm saying? If you say it, then you mean it and shit. That's what we always say too and shit. Like we speak our minds freely when we do the Hood Smoker podcast. We say what we want. We don't apologize. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's offended, they're offended.
Yeah,
I mean,
fuck it.
that's why I fucking added my name when it's always been Jay Gutta, but then when it got like there was a lot of Jay Guttas, but I'm the original. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, I can tell
I
you start
chose
all this
the
shit, right? You put all this
yeah.
shit together. Yo, you know what I mean? I say you put a
Yeah,
lot of work in this shit, man. Real shit. It's hard,
well,
man. It's tough.
it
You know
is.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, it's work. It's work for real. That we're trying
Last
to
night episode was
retire on.
nice too. That was a good episode
Yeah,
last night.
yeah. Shout out Crackle Capone. He was talking some real shit. That was crazy. I never really thought about that, like how he was breaking it down though and shit. But I was paying attention. You know what I'm
The
saying? Like the
pyramids
whole
and shit, like he was talking about,
the
that shit was pretty cool.
aliens. We're aliens. We're not even from this planet. That we and how like AI was already existed and it kind of like erased our minds and shit, so
I
we
mean, if
don't
you look
remember
up,
that shit.
yeah, but if you look up all religions and shit, like the Anunnaki and shit, and you go back to the Sumerian tablets and shit, like you can see like they had like leaders that lived for thousands and thousands of years and shit. And then they said like after a certain time, like even in the Bible, you said he wanted man only to live to 120, and that's like what we could only live up to now, like 120. You notice that? Like that's like the
Right.
max that we can get to is 120. You know what I mean? But like they had a
Yeah.
list of people that were like the king. It said like thousands. You know what I'm talking about? The Sumerian
Yeah.
tablets and shit. That shit's
Yeah.
crazy, yo. So like that shit connects to like Judaism, Christianity. It's in like every religion that shit too. So like you
Mm.
got to really think about it.
Right.
That's why they came here for gold. They said because we had gold, and then they made us. We was only their slaves to get the gold and shit. Then once we got smart, they're like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And it's like we're ant farm. I think. You know what I mean? We're like their ant farm that they're watching.
It froze up a second. I was getting a call and shit. I declined
That's
it real
cool.
quick.
I'm from Philly
Uh,
Sports Prediction, and
yeah.
Jay Gutter's from Detroit.
Yeah. Hey, how about them Tigers, yo? How about
I haven't been paying attention to
them Tigers been
baseball.
whooping ass?
The Phillies doing all right too.
They won like the first 5 games. Yeah, they won when the season started. I believe they won their first 5 games. But it's hard for me to follow our sports when we're losing like that, except for the Lions. You know what I'm saying? But fucking like the Pistons. I'm a huge Piston fan. I mean, I was at the championship games during the Bad Boys,
The
all
Baltimore. Don't
that
do that.
shit.
Don't do
I
that.
was
Don't do
young,
that.
but
Come
my
here.
podcast season
Get her. Come here.
I was a kid.
Sorry about this. She blowing her nose.
That's
Here,
why I did up.
get her.
Actually, the first song I ever wrote was to MC Hammer. You can't touch this.
Hmm.
I wrote it to that beat because that was the theme song for the Pistons when they were the
Yeah,
Bad
that was
Boys
my
with
first
Isaiah
CD
and
that my first hip hop CD that this lady bought me when I was like a little like 6 years old. That's my first CD. And the Ninja Turtle. That was my first rap CD though.
the Ninja Turtles. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go
Before that,
Ninja, go
the first John was actually "Pump It Up." Remember that John? Dan, 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 pump
Yeah,
the jam. Yeah, that shit
Poppy,
was in that John. That was actually a good soundtrack if you listen to it again.
yeah, I didn't bump the. I seen the movie though where Vanilla Ice was rapping on it and shit. The one.
Hold on a sec. Stop.
What
I'm
up
on.
though? Shout out to
Here,
Baltimore.
get her. Get her. She got like
How
she's
y'all
sick.
doing
She's sick
in
and she got a snot running down. And she don't want us wiping her nose. So we gotta catch her like
here?
she's crazy. And she's like a
Yeah, they
wild
said that
animal.
allergies are bad right now. Everybody, like my granddaughter's got pneumonia right now. She's actually in the hospital. She's recovering from it.
Mm.
She's only 5. But she had to go. Yeah, it's real bad. The air and shit and everything in the air. But what's up with Baltimore? How's Baltimore doing? It I
I
used to
like
be
Baltimore. I
a
used to go there.
Baltimore
I used to
Orioles
go to the
fan.
aquarium and shit. I bought weed there on from this one chick at the aquarium, and I smoked. And his came up to me. He's like, "You got any money?" I was getting the rest of the joint. I was like, "Here you go. It's better for you." He was happy too.
Yeah,
I went to Bubba Gump's
yeah,
there too. They got a place called Bubba Gump's. Like, remember that movie Forrest Gump? They got a
yeah.
real place called Bubba Gump Shrimp in Baltimore Harbor. I went there and shit. It's pretty good.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. I thought it would be down in. I thought that I heard of it, but I thought it was in Florida.
They got them everywhere. I think it's like a chain. You know what I mean? But that's the first one
Yeah.
I've seen.
McGraw Ave, not McGraw Street. It's McGraw Ave. Sports predictions. That's my neighborhood, Southwest Detroit, McGraw Ave. Shout out to Murder Payne. That's my homie and
Shout out
shit.
to
He's a
Southwest.
star.
I'm right next to Southwest Philly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we all Southwest, and then you got Blantonio's in Arizona, Southwest America. We all Southwest in this bitch.
It's the Southwest connection. Southwest connection.
Yeah,
There's a Blantonio and shit. Murder my
yeah,
guys.
Murder's your guy. Yeah, Murder Payne, dog. That's my homie. Yeah, he's I, Murder Payne. I probably told you this, Chester McFly, but I know I didn't tell sports predictions. We was riding in the neighborhood in Southwest, and we seen a bunch of movie cameras and shit going. So we're thinking it's the news, because in
Yeah,
Detroit we don't got Hollywood,
there you go.
we don't see that a lot, and so we pull over, we get out. They're in a Jeep and shit, and they got dope guns, all this shit, and they're filming it, and we're like, hold up, this ain't no motherfucking the news, and they were shooting a scene for McGraw Ave and shit. But we went and chopped it up with Murder Pain and shit after that and all that. So yeah, shout out to Murder Pain if he's tapped in and shit.
I
We
walked
gotta have him
I
on
had something
Hood Smoker
similar
Plan.
happen to me. I walked on a movie set in Philly, and they was filming a Kevin Hart movie, and they was like, and I was on acid, yo. It was crazy. I walked in on acid on this film. So I have it on my Instagram. Anyway, I went up, and I see this guy there, and I'm like, holy shit, it's Kevin Hart. It's Kevin Hart, right? Because it's like it looks like Kevin Hart. And remember, I'm tripping. I'm on acid too, mind you. Then I zoom in and I look at him. It's his fucking stunt double, and it's a Pakistani guy, and he looked just fucking like him. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. He looked just like Kevin Hart, though. He's in his gear, he had the same shoes, everything.
Did you get a picture with him or
Yeah, no, I
anything?
didn't get a picture. I got a video of him. I was like, it's Kevin Hart. Then I look, and I'm zooming in. He's like trying to look like him, and then he seen me like get him on tape, and he smiled. He knew that I knew he wasn't Kevin Hart, but he looked
Shout
like
out to
him.
my Canadian family. Shout out to the Canadian family.
What's up? Was D Cochran here?
Nah. No, I'm drinking some Tim Hortons coffee and shit. Y'all got Tim Hortons out there?
No, we got
Uh,
Wawa. You got Wawa? Or you never heard of Wawa? Probably. That's a
it's
Philly John.
No, Tim Hortons is a Canadian coffee shop, like big time coffee like chain. It's like almost like fast food too and shit.
I've
It's
heard of it. It's like a Wawa. It looks like if you've heard of look if you it's like what we had here, Wawa. It's like kind of like Tim
okay,
Hortons, I guess. You know what I mean?
yeah. It ain't like Starbucks or nothing
No,
like
it's like
that,
a
right?
gas station where like you go like a convenience store. You can go in the bathroom and you get coffee and they have breakfast sandwiches and cigarettes and all that shit, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like a Wawa. Same thing.
Okay. Sports predictions. I got a question for you. You didn't predict OJ was gonna pass today,
Yeah, do you know the truth? Who's gonna win the
right? Do
Super
you know
Bowl?
what really happened?
Who's gonna win the Super Bowl this year? Yeah, I like the
Oh shit.
Ravens, Joe. I fuck with the Ravens because they're AFC team, and
Yeah, I
Lamar
fuck with it
reminds
too.
me a
Yeah.
lot of he reminds me of Jalen a little bit, like the way they play with their legs and shit. They run similarly. Jalen didn't run that good this year, but last year.
I like. I was a Baltimore fan because when I was in the joint, when Baltimore played the Giants in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
everybody in the joint was picking the Giants.
Fuck the
So I,
Giants.
I was betting against everybody, dog. I was betting against everyone because their quarterback was trash and shit. But so everyone's thinking like defense wins games, and
They
I
had
feel
Trent
Baltimore
Dilfer.
proved that.
They had Dilfer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ken Dilfer, yeah,
he was
and they
garbage.
had Ray Lewis, the homie Ray Lewis and
After the
shit.
murder case.
Yeah, yeah, and they crushed New York, and I was like, yeah, I want so much
Yo!
money, dog.
Oh, my bad, my bad. You just put me on something. Though. Think about how we look at Ray Lewis. Everybody likes Ray Lewis, but we hate OJ. Same type of shit, right?
Right? Hey, that's real talk. That's real talk. Yeah, it's just yeah, he beat it too.
You know how he got away with it? When the cops came to his room, he had no clothes. He was butt naked, so they couldn't find any blood
No,
stains. They had no clothes. They asked him, "Where's your clothes?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." So somebody helped him out and
he
got rid of that clothes. They got rid of all his clothes. There was blood on him or something. They got rid of
did.
him.
Yeah, he didn't he beat him to death? Didn't he beat him to
I
death?
heard. I'm not
Something like
sure.
that.
I thought he shot somebody and he had blood on his clothes or something. And then when they went into his room,
Oh,
he was naked. Like they went to a hotel room like to get him, and it was just Ray Lewis in the room, butt naked, with nothing.
that's crazy.
That's
He got
smart
rid of
though.
all the
That's
evidence.
what I'm saying. He had
Yeah,
nothing on him. That's so fucking smart.
yeah. No, for real. No, I like Ray Lewis and shit. And they had dude. They got. Does he still play Orr? Michael Orr? They made the movie about him
Yeah,
and shit,
yeah.
and he
No,
said that movie was
he's
bullshit.
suing them people. You know that? He's trying to sue that lady.
Nah, but I know. I think he was talking shit about him and shit,
Yeah.
saying that movie was fake as fuck and shit.
Yeah, he's trying to say it's fake and they didn't help him and all this shit, but then they signed a deal with him and I read the thing. He actually like agreed to all this shit and then he wanted more money later on because the movie did good and the book did good. But he agreed to it.
Yeah, but I
If you
never
sign a
thought
contract,
about that.
that's what I'm saying. When people sign a contract and then they're like, oh, they fucked me over. Then read the motherfucking contract. If you sign that shit, that's not on the person. That's on you. You stupid because you signed the shit, yo.
Yeah, that's
Literally.
just like the rap game and shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a lawyer up. You know what I'm saying? Have a lawyer read that shit, go over it. You can't catch everything, the small print and all that shit and all that type of shit. You got to go over that shit. You got to read them contracts. I know I signed I guess I ain't gonna say the label's name, but I actually was signed at one time, and I signed. They tried to get me on a 3 album deal. We went back and forth, and I got a one album deal with them. I told them I'll do a one album deal with them. They're supposed to pay for all the studio time, the album to drop, all that. But they kind of played me though and shit. They were like, "Well, we want to buy it track by track." And one of my homies was actually signed to the label too and shit. Rest in peace, Southwest Tees. And we had a couple tracks together. So those were the tracks they bought. So they were trying to do some slick shit, like trying to buy like track that both of us was on, so they
Mm.
could try to like
Yeah,
fuck us
like a
over
two for
like that.
one, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I got you.
And but thanks to the pandemic and shit, we were like, well, we're still out here doing work because they were like, well, everything shut down during the lockdown. We're like, well, shit, we're still out here going to the studio. We're still making music. We're still doing shows. We're still doing all this. So they were like, well, we can't force you to not make money and not do that. So they were like, we're giving all our artists a chance to like get out the contract because of the lockdown. So me and Southwest Tees was like, we're like, kill that noise.
So
Like
wait, you didn't
we're
owe
done
any?
with
Did
that.
you owe any money afterwards? Or?
They owe me money and shit. They
Yeah,
paid
but you
me
know how it is.
for
They're like,
the
oh, well, the album did come out, and then you did 3 studio sessions, so you owe us blah 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 blah. You know how they are. That's why I
my
never did nothing.
motherfucking title track. I sold them my title track, Fuck Your Feelings and shit. Where I went in, they took that track. You can find it on all social media everywhere. iTunes, fucking all that shit. You just put Jay Gutta, Mr. Fuck Your Feelings, and put Fuck Your Feelings. You can find that. You can find a song with me and Southwest T stressing. They took all our they're still up there. So any streams they got the rights to it. And we were supposed to get all our you know what I'm saying, our masters. They wanted our masters at first, and then they were trying to talk about 70% of I forgot what the deals were, but we went back and forth. But I signed a one. one record deal with him,
That's
and I
smart
got
though.
all my masters. That shit, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I want my masters. You can't have my masters, but they ended up getting 2 tracks off me. They bought them. They paid a few $100s for each track, but they were supposed to pay all the studio time, pay for the whole album. I ended up doing it all on my own and just did it myself and shit and
But
dropped it and shit during
they would
the.
probably did they owe you money for that or no?
I don't know if they did or not because we bailed out of the contract when they gave us a shot. So I never talked to any lawyers or nothing and shit. I was just glad to get out of it. And when we started the podcast shortly after that, we went in on them and shit. We blazed the shit out of them. We did a whole show just roasting them and shit. Fucking, I don't even want to say what the name of the label is and shit because I don't want to give them no props and nobody to look them up and shit. But let's just say the CEO's name was Sterling and shit. So Sterling, if you watch this, I actually say his name in a couple tracks. Something about I forgot the bars I said. I said something about but I did say something. I'll slap Sterling with a strap. And I said that. I'll slap Sterling with a strap. But I forgot what the bar was and shit. But I did say that in the bar where I was like, I'll slap Sterling with a strap. This and that, like fucking, but like pistol whipping and shit. But we went in on them and shit. But and then we did an episode on the Hood Smoker podcast where we roasted them too and shit and fucking. It was like a few of us on there going in on because they started going after other artists that I rocked with and shit and trying to like get them down with their label and shit. They were out of West Virginia.
Hmm.
That's where the label was at. But yeah, one of the dudes
That's like
was cool and shit. But
you would think it'd be like a country label or something out of West Virginia.
dog, the motherfucking dude that was cool, his name was Colton. He was like used to go fishing all the time. That was his big thing. He was country than a motherfucker and shit. But Sterling, he was like thought he was fucking just fucking big shit, the CEO. But yeah, we killed that shit. We was like, fuck this shit. They ain't doing this right. They ain't do it right. So what you think? I ain't really been paying attention to the other baseball teams, just the Tigers, but I get what the Orioles doing good this year. Baltimore's doing good.
Philly's doing good.
Saying
Philly's got
they
a good
saying
squad,
our
yo.
Orioles won it all this year. Yeah.
Philly's got a nice squad
No,
for real, for real.
yeah, Detroit's been kicking ass too. They had a rain out today. It's been raining all day today, so they gonna have a what are they double header coming up? I think this weekend and shit.
Yeah, we was just in
So
the World
I think
Series, like remember, like 2 years ago.
yeah, yeah, nah, yeah. No, the Phillies. That's a dope team. I never had. I was always a Philly fan. Like even football, like the Eagles. I always fucked with the Eagles. Like
Eagles are
Randall
great.
Cunningham.
Yeah,
When I was
he
a
was my
kid growing
favorite.
up,
I
that
love
was like,
Randall.
yeah, he was like one of my favorite quarterbacks, dog. He was like one of the first quarterbacks that could really run the ball and throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? Before Michael Vick, before all
Yeah,
that, before everybody started, before that was a thing,
yeah, he had
Randall
more
Cunningham
yards
was
than
like,
our. He had more yards when he was our quarterback than our running back at the time. He was fucking killing it. Like his rookie year, he was fucking phenomenal.
I think really the only other quarterback back then that was really running. Remember John Elway was he used to run.
A
John
little bit,
Elway,
but
yeah, he
not
used
like
to
he
take
wasn't like
guys,
no
but
Randall.
not like Randall. No, no,
Randall just
not.
got injured all the
He,
time. That was his problem. If he would have been healthy, I think '92 he would have won it all. But he got injured, and then the guy Jerome Brown got killed in the car accident. One of our defensive players who was really good because we had. That's what
right.
I'm saying. '92, that was a sick team, yo. The Eagles had. We had think about it, we had Reggie White, Randall
Yeah,
Cunningham. You know what I mean? That Jerome Brown. Our team was fucking stacked in '92. And then after Randall, I think got injured, and then Jerome died. It was just like fuck after that.
yeah. No, and y'all had Donovan McNabb. He was a
He got the
beast
same
too and
birthday
shit.
as me. I met him one day at the Gallery Mall in Philly. I was walking around and said Donovan McNabb, and it said like the date at 4 o'clock. And I look at my watch and it's like 3:50. I'm like, is that today? So yeah, and I went in line and I bought a jersey. It was like half away, half home. I don't know what happened to it, and he autographed it. I think somebody stole it in my crib. But yeah,
Man,
yeah, I met him and shit, and I was like, they were playing Dallas. I'm like, you gotta beat Dallas for my birthday, bro. He's like, when's your birthday? I'm like, November 25th. He's like, me too. And I'm like, no shit.
that's my shit.
So we had the same birthday, me and McNabb. So
Yeah, my brother's birthday's November 21st. Shit.
Is he
Yeah,
a Sagittarius or a Scorpio?
I'm not
Because
sure,
I'm
dog.
on
I
the
don't get
cusp.
into all that.
The November
I don't get into
Sagittarius
all.
are the best. The ones in
I'm a
December, they all fucked
Gemini.
up. Everyone that I knew
I'm a
from
Gemini.
December fucked up. All the Sagittarius is from December. They all fucked up. The November ones, we good though.
I'm a Gemini, June 7th and
Oh,
shit.
they say y'all
So,
crazy as shit.
Tupac,
Yeah, they
look,
say y'all
Pac.
crazy as shit.
Yeah, I did a song called Gemini because my cousin, he was a rapper, but he was a Juggalo rapper. I wasn't a Juggalo rapper, but we did a track called Gemini. He was born on June 13th, with which Friday the 13th lands on that day sometimes and shit. But we did a song called fucking Gemini, and it was like Gemini's two different guys, so don't try. When how the fuck it go? When good and bad collide, someone usually dies. We Gemini, two different guys, so don't try. I forgot how it went, but we did a Gemini track and shit, me and my cousin and shit. Shout out Mr. Creepy if you watching this. Get back in the studio, Mr. Creepy. Made some dope ass beats, dope ass producer, dope ass rapper. Check him out and shit. But yeah, I need to have him come on the show. He was actually wanting to co-host and shit. Oh shit, I think homeless person. This lady was looking. Hey, this lady
Film
trying to
this.
bust up in this mall. Hold on.
Film this shit.
I'm gonna
That's
show
good.
you.
Yeah, get this shit on tape.
She just walked up to this car to me and looked up in the window. Was all up in the windows. She didn't know there was somebody sitting in there. She's like, "Oh, I thought you were Carter." She was looking all
I'm
in the
trying to
ride and
rob him,
shit.
probably. Yeah.
She was gonna come up and ask me for some change or something and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and she started looking in the ride next to me and shit. Over here trying to hit a lick and shit. Telling you, these motherfuckers crazy,
I
dog.
have a video. One
Fucking
of my first videos on YouTube was when I'm out with my boy, and this whore came up to us, and she was trying like to suck me and his dick for $20. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, crazy shit. I wouldn't even allow it. I'm like, I'm good. I ain't even got that right now, baby. And I was like, you have a good one.
yeah, them crackhead hookers are crazy, dog. They
Yep.
don't give a fuck, dog. They be begging for that shit. Like, please let me suck your dick. Please, please. Like, nah, bitch. Get the fuck out of here with all them sores on your face, all that shit. Fucking get the fuck on. Like I remember this was a long time ago. Southwest CC, if you watching this, my wife, this was a long time ago. We were selling dope up in the hotel and shit. And this this crackhead bitch came up in there and shit. We were serving him up. We had a runner, you know what I'm saying, who would run out, and he was a dope fiend. Every $100,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
would
yeah, yeah.
we give him a 20 and shit.
Give him a
Well,
point system
he
like the
brought
Queen
this,
store.
yeah. Well, this chick was like, she came in there and she was like, she wanted the crack for free. She wanted to do. She said she tricked for crack, but she paid for her heroin. She tricked for crack to pay for her heroin and shit, and fucking was trying to come in there because we're like, nah, you gotta buy this shit. You can't.
Yeah,
We don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? This bitch got spores all over her face and shit. She's picking and shit. I mean, she was fucked up and shit. And we're like, nah. But we did. My homeboy, Lil Casper, was sleeping on the bed in the room. He passed out drunk, and we was like, we'll give you a 20 rock. You jump in the bed with him, and she got butt ass naked, jumped in the bed with him, and fucking he jumped up. Like, you fucking bitch, started going ham on her and shit. He ain't beat her ass, but he was like fucking screaming. We were cracking up, dog. We gave her a 20 rock for it, dog. She stripped, jumped in there, and she was nasty, dog.
yo, you there, guy? I don't know if you got frozen up because of the internet or what. Yo, you there, guy?